We'll start with the identification tag on the side. Here you'll find the manufacturer, the date it was manufactured, the VIN number, model, gross vehicle weight, tire sizes, pressures. Above that's a tire chart, and the yellow one has cargo weight. Up front, your disconnect here, this key does pull out. One thing to note, when the key is pulled out, if your battery's hooked up, it does activate your brakes, and if it's left like that for an extended period of time, it can do damage to your brakes too, so make sure the key stays in. You have your battery up front. These batteries are not maintenance free, so you may have to add water to them at some point. There is a disconnect on this, and I'll show you where that is. When you're not using your unit, I would disconnect it. It'll extend the life of it. There is a power drain coming from your TVs, stereo, carbon monoxide detectors. So I would definitely disconnect it when not in use. And then winter storage, I would put it somewhere warm. Front landing gear up and down there. This little plug is for a solar panel if you decide you want to put one on later on. And you have a little cargo light up front. This unit has two 30-pound propane tanks, one on this side and one on the other side. Your disconnect, battery disconnect there. This light switch turns on and off your lights on your front cap. There's a little light up top there. This is your water system control. It's labeled here, tank fill. So if you're going to fill your tank up, you're going to want to position your valves, that and that. And you hook up your garden hose to the city water connect. After your tank is filled, you're gonna go switch your valves to system use. So you switch your valves, and then you can turn your pump on and pump your water through your system. And then if you want to do city water connect, both valves up like that, and also garden hose in the city water connect. For winterization is the same as your city water connect. With that though, you unscrew this, and the winterization hose is that hose right there, and it just screws on there, and you can suck your antifreeze through. You have your coax cable. It's there, everything is labeled. This one is your city water connect, it's labeled. This one here is your black tank flush. If you are going to be flushing your black tank, just make sure that you have your valve open, or it'll just fill your tank up. You have an outside shower with hot and cold. This is the intake and exhaust for your furnace. Just make sure you don't store anything in front of there because it gets very hot. Underneath is your sewer dump. The valves are labeled there. I recommend when you do dump your sewer to dump your black first, and then chase it with your gray. Underneath your slide, you'll see there's two arms. Just kind of keep an eye on that, make sure that everything stays clean and everything will operate smoothly for you. The two vents on your slide here are for your fridge. All the controls are inside for your fridge, so there's no reason to go into those. Back here you have another sewer there, and that's just a gray water one. The valve is next to it. And your fresh water drain is the blue hose coming down there. The cap is off and it is inside the hot water heater, and I'll show you that. There's power stabilizer jacks here and the switch here up and down. And your sewer hose is inside your bumper. Here you have your plug for your shore cord. It is a 50 amp. You do have a receiver there. Up top, there's a mount for a backup camera. These units are pre-wired for that. So if something in the future, if you'd want to get one, it's quite easy to do. Ladder at the back. One thing I would recommend is inspecting your roof once a year, just to make sure that you don't have any rips or tears or crack sealant. An outside kitchen. You have a mini fridge, sink, and grill. These grills are made for the 1 pound bottles. Everything is inside. You just have to get the bottle itself. There is also a gas, a propane line there. I'm sure you can get a hose for that, but they're not supplied. Your hot water heater. This is a propane and 110 electric hot water heater. All the controls are on the inside. Really the only thing back here is your plug goes into your drain. And one thing is very important, make sure when you go to do your winterization in the fall, you make sure you drain your hot water heater. And this is the cap for your freshwater drain, the blue hose there. A couple outside speakers, power outlet. The vent up there is for your range above your stove. There's a little flapper inside that has some clips, so you can clip it so it doesn't flap, or to free it up so you can vent outside. On your wheels, the center caps pop off here. Grease nipples in behind. Good idea to grease your wheel bearings once a year. Your entrance door there. Behind your door you have another 110 outlet. Power awning. On this side, you'll have your shore cord. That's a 50 amp plug. You'll have a 50 amp to 30 amp there. And there's also a park adapter which goes from your 30 to a household 110 inside, and I'll show you that when we get in there. Your winterization hose. You have a spare sewer connection. Your crank there will be for your spare tire, and I'll show you where that is too. You have a satellite hookup. That's for if you want to set up a TV outside, so that's an output. You can set a TV up out here. And your other 30-pound propane tank on this side. And there is a selector up there. The little thing will be pointing to whichever tank you want to supply. And I'll just go back and show you the spare tire crank. So it's straight underneath the hot water heater right there. You can crank the spare tire down. All right, we will go inside.